Hello, I am Wraith Pocketwatch, and you are here to watch Pocket Gaming. Yes, I named my gaming channel for a terrible pun. They say start as you mean to go on. Alright, so here we are in my second match of the first season of the Giant in the Playground Blood Bowl League, playing against the Ekrund Infiltrators, one of the two Skaven teams in the league. As I recall, this was actually the second time we attempted to play this match. The first time I had a weird glitch a little way in. What even was it that happened? It was like, yeah, it wouldn't let me select players anymore. Like that, I think there was something to do with a bloodlust or a hypnotic gaze, and I suddenly couldn't select players anymore, and then my whole UI vanished. So we started the match again. Okay, just a quick point. You'll note my formation here. These guys. What this is supposed to deter is basically the gutter runners. Very fast, agility 4, have dodge. In theory, like, if you don't cover the sidelines fully, one of them could just run straight past. I mean, you know, like, if this guy was one square further in, then it would be like, dodge on a 3+, dodge on a 3+, dodge on a 2+, and then further. And, like, that's not, you know, with the free reroll on it, that's not unreasonable. It's risky because you're running along the sidelines, so you'd certainly leave it until late in your turn, but it's something which could be done. At the time of recording, incidentally, in about an hour and a half from now, I will be playing the Infiltrators again in the second season of the league. So I'm interested to see how this match went. I don't really remember it that well. So yeah, that's potentially risky. Obviously, you want the star player points, but I mean, what if that had failed? There are more important things you could do. I don't entirely get why he's putting all these players next to my vampires. I mean, you know, he might want to hit like one of them, but the rest of them are just, you know, lining up to get 2 diced on my turn. I don't know, mate. Yeah, see the. It's both down anyway. Maybe it was an idea to just force me to do more stuff with my vampires, so there would be the risk of bloodlust, but I don't think it doesn't seem like it was that great an idea, just giving me free opportunities to hit the rats. Now, I could have gotten to the ball carrier here. I don't think I do, but I potentially could, because if old Adam here blocks for a Vichy, it would be 2 dice because Gutter Runner is only strength 2. Then I could run Rory the Idiot in here, dodge on 3+, one going for it, blitz the ball carrier. Well, in any case, I did this instead. Importantly, not following up, because I don't want to leave a free line down the side of the pitch. It's something you have to be very careful with Skaven, because they move so fast. If you leave a little gap in your formation, then suddenly they're down here, and you can't get at them. And yeah, I used my blitz on this instead, which is... I mean, it's not awful. I suppose now if I hit for then I can just run Rory in here, but I don't. I mark this guy, yes, but I don't understand why I'm not getting to the ball carrier, because it seems really obvious to me now that that's the thing I could do. But yeah, whatever. I'm getting some good hitting done. Badly hurt my own thrall though, which haven't caused any injuries yet. So yeah, all the guys are still on the pitch, and yeah, now I hit the gut runner. It's always really annoying. A case like this where you come back to a match and see there's like this really good thing that I could have done on my first turn. Why didn't I do it? Okay, so I did actually run that guy. I wasn't totally stupid about it. But it seems like I wasn't thinking as carefully. I was just sort of doing what occurred to me naturally, which, I mean, to a certain extent you have to do that. There are so many... There are 22 players on the pitch, and there is such a wide variety of things they can do that you have to sort of learn to, like, instinctively know what is the more important stuff that you should do. You can't consider every option, but I feel like I should have spotted that, and that's obviously really significant. If you hit the ball carrier, you probably want to... Well, if you can hit the ball carrier favourably, 2 dice, you probably want to do it. Yes. Okay, so he's got... His ball carrier is unmarked again. It's possible for him to get through with only 1 dodge or 2 plots, and he has a reroll on it because he has the dodge skill, but it would be risky. He couldn't send a bump. Oh, yeah, wouldn't even need a dodge. But yes, this makes more sense, because now that guy's a scoring threat, so I have to deal with him on my next turn. I have to at least mark him, but... Okay, so I was going to say, like that's potentially risky. What if you rolled the wrong number? But yeah, I would have run that guy down and then probably kept this guy here, because then this gutter runner is a scoring threat. I have to go and at least mark him. Otherwise, the next turn, pass the ball to him and then just run him in. but then the ball would still be safely here. I suppose it might not be completely safe, as I've shown I could have gotten there. But this seems more risky to me. Yes, and particularly because Vampire Strength 4 plus 1 assist means I get 3 dice on the Blitz. So the chances of me knocking him over were pretty good. I suppose that was a guy who didn't have block at this point, so a both down result would have been problematic. But on the other hand, I might have used a reroll on that if I hadn't got a defender down. And the chances of getting 1 defend down in a total of 6 dice, given it's a 1 in 6, it's not unreasonable. So yeah, now I need to form up around the ball, get tackle zones on it, so it's hard for him to pick it up again. And obviously I'm marking this guy as well. It should work. I mean, he's strength 2, he's unlikely to try and hit the thrall. More likely to try and dodge around somewhere. I suppose, looking at it now, the fact that he marked my guys has sort of worked for him, because I can't easily get people down here. I need to... I needed to dodge there. But, on the other hand, I've retrieved the ball at this point. Unfortunately, I have to unmark the gutter runner. So, particularly given the Skaven movement, my position is a little precarious. But it's a position which it's a better position than what I should really be looking at this point. I shouldn't have the ball on turn 2 after kicking. But okay. Dice just weren't with me there, and I didn't want to use up my second reroll on turn 2. I figured what I've just said, this is still better for me. This is a better situation than I should really be looking at this point, so accept it as that. And okay, I mean, yeah, one of the problems I have is that the thralls, my thralls are inconveniently placed. There are no thralls near Sir Conrad here, none in base-to-base contact with Sir Roderick. Well, now there is. So, in fact, I would have possibly pushed him to there, unless, I guess, if he wants to move this guy without dodging him, that would make more sense. It's an unfortunate point about some of the pitches in this game that they're so pale that you can't always read the dice log unless you mouse over it. It's rather unfortunate. I wish you could have it just always look like this, a bit darker, so you could always read it. Because you can always do this if you want to see something that was obscured. Okay, so... and yeah, Right. Fails the going for it to blitz. That's rough. Yes, that would have been 2 dice. And with block, no less. But I'm surrounded at this point, so I'm not exactly out of trouble. Looking at this, the immediate thought, though, is Matthew Baker here could hit this gutter runner. And of course, because all 3 of these squares are occupied, I would push him into one of the players, specifically this one, and then push him to here. So if he's knocked over, then Sir Jasper is only in 2 tackle zones, and if he isn't... No, if he's knocked over, Sir Jasper is then only in 1 tackle zone, and if he isn't, he's only in 2. And so, yeah, that's the wrong thing. That's the wrong way to do it. Gotta think about the chain pushes past me. It's a way to move multiple players with 1 block, therefore is much more efficient. I think I may have been in a bit of a mindset, a wrong mindset at this point, where I was sort of like, I didn't want to do things with my thralls. It was always like, had to do it with the vampires, because they're the good players. But even your players who aren't that good, they can still be useful. And okay, this works. I blitz, push him, and now I'm just going to dodge out. But on the other hand, I mean, who am I going to get to form up around me? I guess, I've got a couple of thralls here. They're both on the floor at the moment, but I can get them in. Still not great, though. And, yeah, I mean, that would be why I'm leaving him here, where usually your sort of standard cage formation, you go for the corners. But at this point I want it so if someone comes at him from this side or this side, there's an assist here. And yeah, okay, that makes sense. He was partly marking those 2 and partly being there to be bitten after this, and so now there are tackle zones here, so yeah, I can't really form a cage, but I'm just moving the tackle zones around. So he can't get a favourable blitz on Sir Jasper. This is looking pretty decent for me, actually, because it'll be difficult for him to sort of form up a line in front of me to stop me moving, to stop me advancing, because all his guys are down here. Except these two will have to dodge to get anywhere useful. But on the other hand, Skaven movement, so yeah. And yeah, as I said, he can't make it favourable to him. But maybe he is going to go for the 2 dice my choice. I would not do so yet, certainly. I would move more players in to like here and here sort of positions. You know, get the tackle zones in. so that it'll be harder for me to advance. Don't know that covering him is so important. You know, the guy with the ball is the guy who matters, really. Yeah. Yeah, he's putting all the guys on my ball carrier, which... Attack down, defend down, but yeah. He had to use a reroll at least. He's putting all his guys on my ball carrier, which I don't know if that's really the best idea. And yeah, that was still 2 dice my choice, so I chose the attacker down. Even though it says he chose it, I chose it. It just always says the player who made the block chooses it. I don't think I mentioned that in the first episode. If I did, then I have just repeated myself. It's still true. Yeah, he's been putting these guys next to my ball carrier, which... not such a great idea, because, I mean, I can just blitz with him again. But... Did I forget to hit the blitz button? I may have forgotten to hit the blitz button. It is a thing which happens on occasion. Because, it's the thing, if you want to blitz from a standing start, you have to hit the button, whereas if you have to move beforehand, it figures it out. When you select the guy and then right-click on the guy you want to hit, it's like, that is not possible without it being a blitz. So it understands that you want that to be a blitz, but it kind of, in some ways, I kind of would prefer it if you had to hit the blitz button anytime you wanted to blitz. This will come up again in a later match. Because then I would never forget to hit it. If I wanted to make a blitz, I would always have to hit that button, just as if I want to blitz in a tabletop game of Blood Bowl, I say, I blitz with this guy. So yeah, I think that was me forgetting to hit the button, which is rather unfortunate, because if I had, then that would have been the start of a blitz, and then he would have 5 more squares of movement to dodge out, 2+ with a reroll, and then move up 3, 4, 5, 6 to here. And I'm just moving forwards, and then I can maybe like dodge this guy up to support him as well. And it's then becoming increasingly difficult for the Skaven to get at my ball carrier, and I'm moving up the pitch. On the other hand, I mean, I've done some things in this match which, in retrospect, seem rather strange to me. I've missed things which... Well, obviously I missed things at the time which I'm spotting now, so maybe I intended to just block there and just stand here next to these guys. He is strength 4, so it's still difficult for this game to get 2 dice on him. Yeah, I think it's now impossible for them to get 2 dice on him again, and it would have to be a blitz because everyone around him is on the floor. But I still think it might have been better to just move him up. Regardless, this is what I did. But yeah, I mean, because I'm not moving forwards, I'm giving him more opportunities to get his players back round into useful positions, and I'm getting very sort of bogged down with all this. Let's see. None of these guys are doing anything. Both of us should probably do something with our guys. And I guess, well, actually in my case, I don't so much mind the... Well, I might prefer to, like, move these 2 thralls and just leave the vampire here. Maybe leave 1 thrall. And the vampire. And then it's just like none of these players is contributing. I don't mind his players not contributing, and of course it's the thing with vampires where if you don't have to move them, you don't have to roll bloodlust, and so on. Of course, that's being a problem for me elsewhere with Sir Conrad. It's always a problem when vampires fall over. That, of course, you can't stand them up without rolling bloodlust, and so there's a 1 in 6 chance that they will then have to go and bite a thrall, which he could do, but it might mess things up for me. And of course, if you don't have thralls around, then it's a 1 in 6 chance of a turnover and the vampire leaving the pitch for the rest of the drive. Yeah, and so, you see now, I definitely really should have done that blitz like I was talking about, because if Sir Jasper was here, then we would be looking at a very different position on the pitch at this point. As it is, he's here on the line of scrimmage, with 4 Skaven around him. And it's like how exactly am I going to get him? Oh no, wait, that's a thrall. 3 Skaven around him, still. And like how exactly am I going to get him out? I mean, let's see. Fails Bloodlust. My names have disappeared. Again, like missing the opportunity for a chain push, which could have been a good idea. Like particularly with this is not a very helpful position. Whereas, oh yeah, I suppose failed Bloodlust. So, actually no, because Rory's there. Should have come this way, and then I could have pushed him into one of these guys. Probably this one. I don't know. I could have gotten one of them off Sir Jasper, is the point. And thus given him a square with no tackle zones on it that he could then dodge out into. Or alternatively, I could have just pushed him into Sir Jasper and moved him to here, so then it would be a bit easier to come this way. And yeah, things aren't going so well for me because I'm missing little sort of finesses, I suppose. Which would make some significant differences. And the result is my ball carrier, while I have managed to turn over the Skaven and take the ball, my ball carrier is stuck on the line of scrimmage and he's surrounded. Still can't get 2 dice. That strength 4 is very handy, and having the second vampire cancelling assists, of course. You can get 1 dice. Because this one is unmarked. But there you go, it's what he needs. 1 dice can work. I mean, it's a storm vermin. So there was a 1 in 3 chance of that working. It's decent. The ball is not conveniently situated. So yeah, this is coming back to me. I think I recall now, at least how the first half ends. But I'm not sure. Okay, fails the pickup. But at this point, I've got to be thinking I'm screwed. Because the ball is in 5 tackle zones. I can potentially move 2 of them. So, yeah, the chances of me doing anything are not great here. And he's been prone for like 3 turns and I haven't stood him up. It's a mistake. The issue is obviously here is where everything has been happening. So obviously I was looking here, and obviously, this is a replay, so I was looking at it from the other perspective. So it's like, from my perspective, these guys are like here, which obviously I couldn't see when I was focusing on all this, but you have to try and remember when you have players elsewhere than where the main action is going on, that they still matter. I could at least stand this guy up. I could maybe dodge him and move him forwards to help with this ridiculousness that's going on. Come on, names. I've no idea why the names vanish sometimes. It makes no sense to me. Okay, now I remember to stand him up. Yeah. And it's not great, but okay. Put the defender down, and yes, push him into the ball in the hope that it goes somewhere more useful. Yeah, goes there. That's a better place for it, from my point of view. It's only in 1 tackle zone now. Can I get to it? If I dodge this thrall out and then make 1 going for it, I can actually get to the ball. Or without the going for it, I can just put it in a tackle zone, and oh yeah, that is also true. I could dodge this one, and I failed the dodge. So there you go. Why names? Why do you vanish? Yeah. And so... And yeah, so you see how, like one mistake on my part, which may have been me just forgetting to hit the blitz button, which is... It's something I'm coming to seriously just hate that can happen. Because it wouldn't happen in tabletop. Yeah, like, that one mistake has made a massive amount of difference, because it meant that my ball carrier was here on the line of scrimmage, and the Skaven swarmed him, instead of him being up here, where they could have swarmed him a little bit, but much less, because it would have taken most of their movement just to get, like, in line with him, sort of laterally. And now it's quite worrying for me, because he can do this. But again, he's passed the ball straight off, where it might have been safer to leave it here and move some more guys into cover this one. Or, like, even just one more guy to go here. I suppose, yeah, now he's... Like, if he'd done that first, then I would be more inclined to agree with this. But as it is, I can still get a 1-die split somehow. So... yeah. I don't know. I don't remember how this turns out at all. I remember the end result of the match, which I don't want to spoil for you, but I don't remember how this turns out. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he hasn't even blitzed yet. And he's not going to, I guess. Push the button. Yes. I don't think it's a push. In some ways this is potentially better for me, because now he has a dodge which will be only a 3+ to go for this guy. On the other hand... okay, on the other hand he covers that, and so now I think I pretty much have to go for the one going for it 1-dice block blitz, or 3+ dodge, 2+ dodge, and one going for it would be 2 dice. Standing him up, pretty much just in case, I think. And at this point, also, I have to... No, I don't have to resign myself to not scoring. I remember that Richard Dauntless is up here. Oh no, wait. Was he stunned and just turned over this turn? That may be the case, in which case I have to resign myself to not scoring. What did I just do? Oh, tried to do a hypnotic gaze. Ah, yes. Yes. That would have been helpful if it had worked. It didn't, so... Okay, I would have thought I would have gone for the 1 dice, but... not. Right, make dodge, and yeah, 2 dice. Yeah, now I have these 2 tackle zones on the ball. So this is probably about as good as I can manage. And I'm kicking myself for messing up early on and getting so bogged down here. Particularly because, of course, I kicked first, and the thing is... Oh, right. Yeah, I tried to get him over. The thing is, if I had not knocked the ball loose, then, like, he had a ball carrier here. He could have scored in, like, 2 or 3 turns. I think it would have been 3 turns. And so then I would have had 6 turns to equalise, and thus go into the second half 1-1. And all the while I would be trying to beat up the rats. Yeah. On the other hand, I suppose this has failed for him, so it's going to be 0-0. But yeah, just basically this could have gone. This could have gone much better for me if I'd just gotten up here. Maybe I would have scored. And I mean, now all I can do with this remaining turn is just try and get some extra star player points. So try and beat up the rats. If I can manage to pick up the ball, I can try to throw a pass. I didn't want to go for the both down right off, and there were still more things I could do. So now it'll be easier to pick up the ball if I can get to it, so I could try to throw that pass I was just talking about. Hitting the gutter runner kind of makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense because strength 2, and therefore I get 2 dice, but on the other hand he has dodge. And of course, I've now pushed him back next to Sir Jasper, who would have been the prime target for the potential get a star player point pass. Not sure why I followed up. I could have had 2 dice on the Storm Vermin if I didn't. Unless I'm trying to dodge out to go for that completion. This is basically dead time. I don't think I do get any star player points on this turn. Spoiler alert. I'm not sure what the point of that was. Failed big enough. I'm really not sure what the point of that was. Moving Sir Roderick there. That would only be relevant if I was going to foul. And yeah, I've suffered some injuries, but I'm still fairly okay. And at this point I'm figuring, well, it's okay, because at least he didn't score. So we're tied coming into the second half, and now I am receiving. And let's see how this goes. Yes, he's set up, so I'm thinking, where do I want my guys? Yeah. Vampires retrieve the ball. I'll be putting in a thrall to babysit him, basically. Yep. There we go. And then I'll be wanting some people on the line of scrimmage to hit these guys, and on the front in the wide zones. Probably going to hit that guy with Sir Conrad, because he's the one with block. Yeah, a lot of this is not really significant. I should have saved up some things to talk about to fill in this time, but I didn't. Okay, that should be my setup. Well, yeah, I almost ran out of time for it. So here we go, waiting for the kick. He may not have noticed that he had to aim the kick. That's the thing, it doesn't like notify you particularly when it's your turn to do something. That's a sort of flaw in the game, I feel. It should tell you. Brilliant coaching. He got an extra reload. So that's obviously a source of some frustration to me. But here we go. So yes, move the thrall up. So ball is now in a tackle zone, and thrall is there to be bitten if I fail bloodlust. Next I should, yes, move on to hitting people. Yeah, that was kind of wrong. I should really have gone for my blitz first, because I'm going to blitz with, well, actually I'm not sure. Given that the ball is over here, I might want to blitz over here. Yes, which means it doesn't matter, because none of my blocks were going to involve the block skill, so that's the difference. I left him there. I'm not so sure about that. Particularly given the risks of moving vampires, you kind of want to move them as much as you can when you can do so safely. So I would have. I mean, well, sticking people on the sidelines is good, but also he could have moved up to, say, there, and the marked gutter runner been a tackle zone in the way of things. I don't know. There are arguments for both sort of options. Yeah. So here we are. He shouldn't be able to get through this line round these guys. So I am. This is looking good for me so far. I am now in basically the position that it took me about 4 turns to reach in the last half after 1 turn. But of course there's no guarantee that things won't mess up for me as they did in the first half. And yeah, okay. Running a guy down the pitch, partly because he can be a scoring threat, and partly because, like, if they sort of form up a line in front of my guys, then having someone who can get behind them can be very useful. Yeah, he's mostly covering the line. Yeah. Might have been a better idea to hit one of the thralls. On the other hand, I kind of understand it. Because obviously that was sort of the weak point of the line, because it was one guy by himself. And there was a dodge and knocks himself out. That's very nice for me. And yeah, he's marked these two, which that's just a free block for me. And guy on the sidelines going out. At this point, it seems like everything is coming up Ruddigore. There, yes. At this point, I think I clearly haven't really decided where I want the ball to go. Though, because like that, I think I probably want the ball to go over this way, but then it might have made sense to follow up if that were the case, because you'd be marking 2 people who could potentially interfere with that. And yeah, now I'm sorting it out. Oh. Blitz, okay. Not sure. Yes, yeah. That makes a certain amount of sense. Rather than going round, just blitz there. Of course, now I have to bite Steven North here, which sort of messes up my defences, meaning I'm in a more precarious position than I otherwise would be. It's potentially salvageable if I can make 1 3+ dodge, and yeah, that's not great. So there are 2 dice here on this gutter. Not sure whether I take it or not. Yes. That's why I moved him first. That would have been specific because I knew that was always. Yeah, okay, right. That and I assume even though I've had to use a reroll, yeah, that's unfortunate. I've had to use both my rerolls in my first 2 turns of this half. But I would assume I would still try to dodge out here, get another guy in here. That said, I've sort of plugged the important hole. And yeah, okay, I did, and failed and knocked myself out. This is working out less well. But I'm decently positioned for this. Yeah, he only gets a push. So that's something. Yeah, I mean, he's possibly going to have a bit of a localized numbers advantage because he can get most of his guys over here, whereas I just have these 4 plus the stunned thrall. So it's kind of a potential issue. It might work out better if I could have sort of marked some of his players to stop them just running in around all my guys where the ball is. And yeah, so, that's in theory, I could actually score on my next turn if I chose to. It would be pretty risky though, so I doubt that I will do it. I remember. Having issues with my lack of block, of course. It's the problem with vampires. In theory, vampires can become some of the best players in Blood Bowl, other than the fact that they have bloodlust and you can't get rid of it. But they don't start with any of the sort of important skills like block and dodge. And so on. So yeah, once they skill up, they can be pretty scary. But at this point in their development, not so much. Yeah, I clearly found a bloodlust over here. Yeah, I guess I was obviously I was just wanting to mark this guy. KO's. It's always frustrating when bloodlust results in anything worse than a stun. Because players being stunned I can deal with. So long as they're still on the pitch, they'll be back in a couple of turns. And they're blocking a square with their prone body. but knockouts and badly hurts, it becomes a serious problem because you're just gifting the enemy team a numbers advantage. I mean, that's obviously why in some cases you want to re-roll Bloodlust to avoid that, and why apparently some vampire coaches will swear by the principle of giving all your vampires pro. There's another potential way of re-rolling Bloodlust, but yeah, this is problematic for me because I'm just hemmed in to this sideline. It's going to be very difficult for me to get out. He has a 2-dice block here, which he can follow up and put a guy straight into contact with the ball carrier. Not very safe contact. So I mean, I suppose I was figuring like he still can't get anything favourable on the ball carrier. So I'm hoping that things will look a bit better for me on my next turn, and in fact they do. Given that, now I just have to not screw up any important dice rolls. I'm probably going to screw up an important dice roll here. Like, maybe I'm gonna hit this guy and roll double skulls. That seems like a thing that might happen. Or hit this guy and roll skull on both down. Nope, okay, that one worked. It's one successful block. The ball carrier is free, except for the gut runner in here. I don't know why he was trying to get the gut runner in there, to be honest. But yes, okay. Yes, that is the important dice roll that I screwed up. The second block. 2 both downs. My rerolls are gone. I have no block. I have one guy with block at this point in the development of my team. And yeah, if that had worked, then I would have been actually very well set, to be honest, because Robin could have run up and Sir Jeff could have run up after him, and then, I mean, maybe I could have dodged Conrad out and taken him over here. But as it is, this is how it turned out. So, now my ball carrier is stuck on the sidelines. And it's going to be difficult to get forward. And I'm just getting completely hemmed in. It's to the point where, like, yeah, okay, what's that? 1 dice. Like, it's getting to the point where I might start considering the incredibly risky play of just pass the ball to the thrall, passing in a tackle zone, catching in a tackle zone, and then dodging, scoring. Not very likely to work with no rerolls. I'm running out of options at this point. So what do I do? I can't keep track of who was stunned and who was just knocked down. If he was just knocked down, then yeah, then he could go up and blitz Corporate. and getting off my ball carrier, but this is always going to be a problem because if I come off the sidelines, then I'm coming into attacker zone unless I run backwards, which might be an idea. But on the other hand, I mean, they can easily sort of reform up. Because they have the movement. It's Skaven's big thing. It's what you have to try and deal with to beat them. That said, it looks like that might be what I'm setting up to do. If I move Gaff Academy first, I'm not sure where I'm moving to, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I can only get to there unless I go for it. I did that one first. That does not entirely make sense to me. I would have thought I'd go for that first. At this point, I think you could probably engineer to push me out the sidelines. No, there he should have taken them both down, because then he'd have a potential push out on the next turn. Yeah, I mean, whatever happens at this point, it's really bad for me because I am just completely stuck. And he still has 4 rerolls. He finally had to use one. And yeah, it was only a push, so... And still on the pitch, so... Keep the ball. And where am I gonna go? Like... I feel like at this point, I might want to just dodge on 3+, dodge on 2+, 3, 4, 5, 6, and like pass the ball and hope that it works. Actually, that could, if I could manage that, I'd have a reroll for the dodges. And then, so it would just be the pass that would be risky. And then if that worked, then 4 runs over, Vampire runs over, and I might actually be out of reach of the Skaven because they are all over here. I think that's what would sort of make the most sense. It might well not work, but it would seem like the best thing to do. Ah, I failed a hypnotic gaze. That... Maybe I was trying to hypnotise that one? That might make sense. Also... Why would I blitz? Where am I even gonna go afterwards? Yeah, that kind of makes sense. But okay, failed the dodge in any case. So I will find out where I was actually planning to go with that. Yeah, because I was dodging into a tackle. But yeah, like, I don't get where I was planning on going there. Because it's the thing, like, it would have made the most sense to me to try to get to here and then pass the ball, because then potentially I could get it well away. But you can only do one action with each player in a turn, and blitz and pass, they're separate actions. So having chosen to blitz, I couldn't then pass or hand off. So the ball would have still been with Jasper wherever he ended up, wherever I was planning on putting him. And he definitely couldn't get away from the rats here. Now, they just have such a numbers advantage that I just can't stand up to this. So yeah, this is interesting. Like, it hasn't seemed like my mistakes have been that big in general. Just like little things that have built up because I guess it's in the nature of the Skaven movement that they can really just jump on any little thing. And yeah. Still being I was going to say he's still being riskier than he has to be, but actually as soon as you can get these guys in, not so much. And well, okay, actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, actually I can do that. What is he? Wait. Oh right, yeah, he was there so that I could stand up the vampire, but he is still in scoring range, which could be relevant. Well, I mean, since I remember the result of this match, I know that it's not relevant, but it could have been relevant. Making sure that I have someone who can potentially score. But now, basically, I think I have to just go for this blitz and hope that the ball ends up being knocked loose in somewhere useful. I'm not sure why I'm taking so long thinking about it. I mean, maybe I was considering something involving like bringing Sir Conrad down here to hypnotise or something. Or, like, obviously, I guess I'd rather he do the blitz, because, I mean, well, if I could get him an assist, then I could get 3 dice and he has block. But it doesn't seem that feasible. But, oh, no, that's it. He's coming in here to try and hypnotise. And it works, so now I don't have to dodge. And so I'm going to go for the blitz. And yeah, okay, actually, smashed on this next game. Casualty, my first star player points of the game, and the ball is there. So, yeah, okay, and get him in. So, 3 tackle zones on the ball. What's he gonna do? These are both his throws. No, that's a line. That was a throw. So he's obviously better at. He has sure hands, so he's better at picking up the ball. I don't know if that's going to be relevant. Seems like a decent attempt of salvaging things by me. I suppose, like, the only potential downside to hypnotizing this guy was that, like, Conrad would potentially have been the best person to try and pick up the ball once it was knocked loose, but knocking it loose was the more significant part of the transaction, so it made sense to make that as sure as possible. And yeah, now he's dealing with the problem that I've been suffering from for a lot of the game is there are too many guys. I can't hit them all to get them off the field. Not sure how he solves it. Suddenly thinking about it a lot. Yeah, I mean, maybe he wants to push someone into the ball. It could be an idea. I mean, it's always a risky thing to do because, in a circumstance like this, if he pushes Richard Dauntless into the ball, then obviously there's a 1 in 4 chance that it will scatter to one of my guys, and they might catch it. On the other hand, 3 in 8 chance that it'll scatter to one of his guys, and they might catch it. Or it could go to another square. But okay, so finally assist in here, hit guy here. That's 1 tackle zone removed from the ball. Actually, I guess he can potentially get all 3 tackle zones off the ball. It's just difficult for him to make the blocks favourable to him, and then he also wants to have someone left who can pick the thing up. I've suffered quite a few KOs in this match. 6, in fact. That's somewhat unfortunate. And right, yes. And he's just got a casualty there. So now yeah, what it's like to do is to run this guy around, pick up the ball, and it fails. But it's still on Novice players who can score because massive movement. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Ah, right. Yes. Nicholas South. Ah, and yes, I failed at the start of action because there basically I had to just go straight for dodge out, run around, blitz. Was all I could do really. Couldn't even make it safe with a thrall, and so now I have to just hope that he fails his going for it, which he doesn't, and I lose 1-0. Yeah. Couple of significant mistakes on my part, and I just got sort of swarmed. Pretty much the summary of that match, I guess. Yeah, I mean, if you look, I had the ball for much more of the game, but I just couldn't get anywhere with it.